in arguably the worst Royal Rumble PLE of all time, we've had the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns come out and be victorious in the second ever Royal Rumble men's matchup, and he's going to go to main event WrestleMania, because obviously who else is going to be doing that, right? Just off of the pure logic of who can genuinely main event WrestleMania. If you looked at the roster this year, who could genuinely do it, okay? Are we going to have Cody Rhodes versus Drew? No. Are we going to have it be CM Punk versus somebody? No. Could it be anybody other than Roman Reigns? Because we already had John Cena do it last year in 9-2, right? Now Cena's gone. And clearly, Cody Rhodes cannot draw a single fucking dime, or otherwise he would have sold out yesterday's SmackDown Live send-off for the Royal Rumble. Clearly, Cody Rhodes, he is not a A-level star. He needs a sidekick. He needs a proper heel to go up against. So, the reason why they made Roman Reigns win this Royal Rumble is just because of that fact. They do not have enough main eventers, right? So, if they are allowing for Roman Reigns to go out there and win the Royal Rumble and head into night 2 main event for the WWE Undisputed Championship, because why else would he win the Rumble other than that title that he lost? Why would he go after the B title, right? I mean, he literally said that the World Heavyweight Championship title is the participation trophy title, right? So if you're a sucker enough to go out there and compete for the title, you are a sucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? You are a sucker. So it's gonna be obviously Roman Reigns against whoever has a title, and I truly believe it will be Cody Rhodes winning that title by the time the WrestleMania rolls around. Because come on, Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns for the title, not gonna work, right? Not because it doesn't work, not because it is not interesting, because we've already tried it, right? We've already tried to have them go at it and feud. They had a match at WrestleMania 35, I believe. That was okay. And then they had a match for the title at Clash at the Castle. That was okay. But come on, bro. We need to have Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns number 3. And I think they were looking around. They were kind of desperate. They didn't know what the hell to do. And they were like, all right, fuck it. Right? All right, fuck it, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're going to do then. So that is, I believe, the reason why they went with Roman Reigns. Now, the final 4... Ooh, that one had me kind of worried for a second, bro. We literally had Logan Paul, Orton, Roman, and Gunther. For a second, I legitimately thought we might have had Logan Paul win it. And then Logan Paul was going to probably challenge CM Punk for the title. And then the Vision was going to have internal warfare between one another. And that was going to be a, kind of big plot line. Now, I wouldn't have put it beyond the WWE. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have put that below them, because come on, bro. They have screwed up the entire year of 2025, whether it was LA Knight or Cena or this or that. They are shameless. And they literally had AJ Styles retired today to Gunther. It is sad, sickening, and disgusting, if you ask me. But nonetheless, that was, in my opinion, a very, very high probability. In my opinion, it was either going to be Logan Paul or Roman. Now, Gunther, I could have seen why they could have picked Gunther to win. But it's the thing is this. Gunther's heat level right now is a 10, right? He retired AJ Styles. His heat is at an all-time high. What would it really change if he added a little bit more of a gasoline, some gasoline fluid or lighter fluid on top of it? Yeah, it's going to make the fire burn a little bit more. But, the fire is already there, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty clear that, as soon as, Logan Paul was out, it was all right, it's going to be Roman. So that was it for the winner. Now, for the match itself, I'm not going to lie, chat. This entire PLE was genuinely disgusting. It was genuinely disgusting from the beginning right to the end. I mean, bro, the PLE starts off, and look at the amount of empty seats. This section is empty. This section is empty. Look at this, bro, right? The PLE begins, and mind you, this began at maybe 10 p.m. Saudi time. Can you imagine that, bro? 10 p.m. Saudi time, and this is how empty everything is? It's got to be a freaking joke, right? And while I was live, I was like, you know what? I know it's pretty empty right now, but how did it look when SmackDown was there? I went back. It's in the same arena, by the way. And bro, SmackDown was more packed. SmackDown was more packed. The opening of SmackDown was more packed than the opening of the Royal Rumble. That is insane. That is truly insane. And I'm not making that up. I mean, look at it right here, you know? So, luckily, you know, we had to endure the worst match first, which was the females, you know, like Royal Rumble. And I'm not going to lie, chat, this was such a drag. I mean, look at the emptiness of the crowd. Look at how empty it is. Like, you can see, like, a few people maybe here and there sitting in between these gaps. But, like, if it's not for the people at the front row, this would have been totally empty. You know, like, look at right here. It's empty, completely empty. And, like, the people can be like, oh, yeah, but that's because of the Saudi crowd. The Saudi crowd? Are you kidding me? You want to blame the crowd? You want to blame the crowd that never had a Royal Rumble and that had an entire stadium built for the PLE? You want to build that country? You want to put the blame on them? And not this horrendous female division that, for a legitimate reason, honestly does not require or warrant a 30 women Royal Rumble. Like, the appeal in the men's Royal Rumble is as follows. Maybe Chris Jericho is going to return. Maybe Rollins is going to return. Maybe LA Knight is going to return, which he did. Brock Lesnar facing off with Roman. Brock facing off with Cody. Brock facing off with Oba. You know what I'm saying? All of these spots that you can kind of like look forward to. That is what you want to see. Roman Reigns, can he win the Rumble and reclaim his title? These are kind of the things that you would want to see. But in the female division, come on, let's be honest, guys. Like what is the appeal? Like, there are no spots in the match that you can look forward to be honest. None. Right? Then the question becomes, who's going to win the match? All right, you know, we have Rhea Ripley, who's pretty strong. We have this, we have that. But ultimately, it's kind of just coming down to the fact that, all right, let's see who's going to win the Rumble. And then, like, at number 30, Tiffany Stratton comes out to literally no pop. Like, this was your former champion that was, like, pretty much undefeated for a year straight. And she comes back and no pop. You know, that says enough about the match. Truly, it does. And so, you know, we just, you know, skip to the end and blah, 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 and then Liv Morgan wins. Now, in my opinion, Liv Morgan winning is brilliant. I think she is literally the best character in the women's division. I think that when it comes down to heel work, she's pretty good. She's likable when she wants to be, but she knows how to really be a good heel and get under your skin and be annoying. She's just very, like, charismatic in that way, you know, for a lack of better terms. I think you could say, like, she was pretty charismatic in her approach. Now, in terms of in-ring action, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I do not care. I don't care how good or bad Liv Morgan is. It's a fake sport. We only care about the storylines, the plot lines. I don't care if she can do a 450 splash. I don't care at all, one bit. So that was like the only thing that, you know, mattered to me, how well you can sell. Obviously, it's pretty clear that Liv Morgan is going to go after, you know, Stephanie Gunther, right? She's going to go after Gunther because, I mean, would you rather see Liv Morgan, 5'1" at best, standing next to literally like a freaking mutant? And I'm saying, like a freaking titan, like Jade Cargill. It's not gonna have appeal, right? So they're gonna put the freaking two goon baits next to one another, and they're gonna have Gunther and Liv Morgan go at it. And as it pertains to the outfits that the women wore, a lot of people, you know, like going into it, made it a really, really big deal. Oh my God, they got to be covered up. Man, who cares, bro? You know what I'm saying? You just grow up, you know, get over it. It's like a lot of the times, a lot of fans want to pretend like, you know, the appeal to the women's division is just, you know, merely the same as the men's, because no, it isn't. The appeal to the men's division is as follows: if you are big, if you are strong, if you are hard hitting, powerful, look intimidating, look like an ass kicker, then you have the proper appeal. But that is not the appeal that the women's division has. Like, come on, like, who is big, strong like that? No, like, there is not a single woman that from the women's division that you could put up in front of Oba, Brock, or anybody else and be like, oh yeah, you know, like, they're gonna win. You know, I'm not like unless it's like freaking like Santino Marella or something like that. You know, like, let's be real. So they have to resort to the goon bait attires, you know, to the fucking skimpy G strings and all that stuff. So when you kind of force them to wear something that, like, is gonna maybe enhance their character, Like Charlotte Flair, she wore like a leopard skin thing, looked pretty good. I liked Sol Ruka. Like Sol Ruka's attire was really good in my opinion. Like the pants, the like to me, I feel, to be honest, that the wardrobe that they wore tonight actually enhances their appeal. It really enhances their quote unquote gimmick or their character or their style. Because if everybody comes out wear a bra and and trunks and yada yada yada, they all kind of look the same. The only thing that's different is just like the patterns on their bras, So like that's really what I found particularly amusing, is seeing how they would pick up their attires to kind of complement their characters. Now, obviously, Brie Bella also made a return. And people were like, yeah, that was the biggest pop of the night. Let's calm down for a second here, all right? Brie Bella coming back up and, getting that little pop. Come on, let's pump the brakes, okay? It wasn't that big of a deal. She got kicked out immediately after anyway. So, yeah, Liv Morgan goes out and she wins the entire tournament. In my opinion, right pick, right person. And then the following match is Gunther going up against AJ Styles. And man, oh man, you guys already know how I felt about that one, right? So you guys can literally click the annotation. I mean, fuck that, man. I'll talk about it right now. Fuck the annotation on the screen, man. Who gives a fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? So let's just talk about this for a second, bro. Look, I was really heated when the match ended. And I thought about it thoroughly, and I really came to the conclusion that this was unjustified. This retirement, this way of ending his career was completely unjustified. It is disgusting. It is reprehensible. It is completely disrespectful and flat out disregarding the legacy this man had. Now, let's just kind of like zoom out a little bit, right? Me and you, we follow Raw week to week. We watch everything. So we are aware what's going on. But if you zoom out far out enough and you kind of target the mainstream a little bit, you're going to be like, all right, yeah, tonight AJ Styles retired. And now let's just say a lapsed TNA fan, they're going to ask you, what the hell are you talking about? AJ Styles retired? Why? Against who? What happened? And you're going to explain, oh yeah, AJ Styles, he defeated Gunther in the ring and he made Gunther tap out, but the referee didn't see it. And then Gunther cheated with a low blow, got the choke, and choked out AJ Styles. And then AJ wanted a rematch. Gunther didn't want to give it to him unless AJ put up his career on the line for it. And he did. And now he is retired because he lost. That guy is going to look at you with his fucking mouth hanging up, up to his fucking ballsack, bro. That, their mouth, what I'm saying? Like you can't even screw it shut. Like, that's how low their jaws are going to drop. What the hell do you mean that is why he retired? Because Gunther was mean to John Cena? Because Gunther was kind of mean to, like John Cena afterwards because he beat him like any wrestler would? It's a match, and you want to go out there and have a match, and you want to win the match? That is what you do as a job, right? That is your job, right? So that is something that I just cannot get behind. AJ Styles has said on numerous occasions he does not want to wrestle when he's 50 years old. Last time I checked, AJ Styles is 48 years old. His birthday is June 2nd. Okay? So right now he's 48. We have about, 6 months left until his birthday. And you want to pull the plug right now? We couldn't have had a long, illustrious last year for AJ Styles, where he could, maybe at the end, he could have this match against Gunther. Hell, if it happened this year at Mania, I wouldn't mind it. But if it happened next year at WrestleMania 43, and we're gonna get this kind of build up to oh yeah, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? That is really what's interesting there. Now I get it. On numerous occasions, I have said that Gunther calling himself the career killer or the legend killer, it doesn't really make sense because the last match was already set in stone. So whether or not Gunther was the opposition in those matches against Goldberg or John Cena, that's besides the point. I mean, their careers were going to come to an end because of that way anyway. So it really didn't matter who the hell it was. You see? But now you can say you can make that argument. Gunther put up that stipulation, if you lose, your career is over. And he didn't really have that in those situations. Now he does. Now he had it, and he beat AJ Styles, and he ended his career. That is, for the first time, something that you could say, all right, Gunther, he kind of kept his word. Now it makes sense. It also makes sense for Gunther to get all this heat. Just beat Cena. Who else could he beat? Unfortunately, I highly disagree with the notion that we needed this to happen because of the fact that the train Gunther has been on. The Gunther train has been on, quote unquote, in kayfabe, on the streak of retiring legends. He retired Goldberg, he retired John Cena, and if there's ever a time for Gunther to do another big time thing, it had to have been tonight, right? That is the logic. That's why they did it. And I really disagree with that fact because look at what the fuck they have done in the last year. They they poorly booked Cena's last year. And the fact that Gunther is in the position that he is laughable because he's not even that big of a threat. You cannot even take him that serious. Gunther is the same guy that tapped out to Jey Uso and that lost to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. He is that same guy. So just because of that optic alone, we cannot really take this serious. And if you wanted us to take it serious, then AJ Styles should have had to have taken it seriously. All right, what do I mean by that? We could have had AJ Styles instead of like let's just say like this, okay? If AJ Styles, instead of being like, all right, I immediately accept this challenge, if AJ Styles was like, oh my God, like, this is Gunther, like, he can really do this. He could really end my career. He could really, put some fear in my heart. And if we didn't have Gunther tap out earlier than that, like that week, or like the week prior to that, we couldn't have really figured out how good Gunther is against AJ, right? We could have had to be a question mark. But we made AJ Styles really confident, and we had him go in there and lose. If he had done the opposite and build up the feud, build up the tension, build up all the way to WrestleMania, then we would want to see that match. But we already saw it at Raw. Gunther tapped, and now Gunther gets to beat him clean. See, that is where you lose me. That is where it doesn't make any sense anymore. And that is where a lot of fans are going to get upset. And then you want to be mad at us for being upset. Like, I get it. I truly get it, chat. If there's ever a time for a wrestler to retire, look, it's going to be hard anyway. And now they're like, all right, let's just pull the plug earlier. Let's have the short pain instead of like the long, drawn-out pain. And let's just, end it right, like it is. Now, a lot of people took this moment right here for a sign of him not actually retiring. Now, he took off the gloves, he put him down, and then as he was putting him down, he put him back up, and then he did the P1 sign. A lot of people are saying he's going to go to TNA or something else and retire there. And I'm going to ask you guys the question, why even make it be a career match? Why? A career match, oh man. If the idea is, all right, this was a career match for AJ Styles, right? If AJ loses, his career is over, asterisks in the WWE. All right, if we're going to be like that, if we're going to be cute, then, screw you, bro. All right, genuinely screw you. I don't want to see that at all, right? And I'm sure TNA will give him a better send-off, but come on, bro. Come on, man. I'm over that, man. What are you talking about? Better send-off. So, anyways, the next match is going to be Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Now, Sami Zayn, ooh, he had me scared. He had me scared in this match, bro. I genuinely thought this clown was going to win this match, bro. I genuinely thought that. It's in front of Saudi. And the thing was this. I also thought this. If Sami was not going to win this match, he was probably going to enter the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble. That is genuinely what I thought, bro. That was a genuine worry that I had. And I'm really happy none of those things came to be. Genuinely, I'm really, really happy. I'm really happy none of that happened. And I'm really happy the way this match happened as well. Bro, Drew McIntyre, he fucked him up. Bro, he literally put some beating on this kid, bro. Power bombs through the table, smack him up. You know what I'm saying? Claymore this, Claymore that. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, and get him the hell out of there. Because the reality is this. In no universe, fake or real, does somebody like Sami Zayn beat somebody like Drew McIntyre. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't happen. And it really is something that we have to take into consideration when these matches happen, all right? We got to stop pretending that everything is kayfabe and you can fool everybody, because the reality is enough of this. Enough of Roman Reigns beating on Drew. Enough of CM Punk beating on Drew, which already was like bad as it is. Enough of like Drew McIntyre jobbing up to Cody. Enough of like Drew jobbing up to Fatu. Time for this guy to get some legitimacy, all right? And this victory just did that, all right? Now, I want to talk about the opening of the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble. Bro, we literally had Braun Breaker come out. He got attacked by a masked guy. Another hooded masked guy. And once, like, wouldn't you know it, he gets hit with a sidekick and then the stomp, and then Braun Breaker is out. He gets tossed in the ring, and Obafemi clears out the ring. Wow. Are we doing this still? Are we still doing this, chat? Are we still doing the hooded masked guy? Like the hoodie was bad at as it was, right? And now they've like leveled up to like a hoodie with a freaking like what the hell is he even wearing? Like a ski mask, bro? Come on. It's genuinely bothersome right now. And yeah, the match for the men's one was okay. I'm glad that Rey Mysterio was back in the ring. And then we had like the fake Americana come out, getting confronted by the original Americana. Chad Gable is out here looking pretty good. I think he grew out his hair and his beard. He looks pretty good. Bro, he looked freaking jacked, right? I love seeing that. I love like when wrestlers take their craft seriously. And yeah, I mean, the match was pretty okay. We got like the routine tosses out, and then we had like Trick, and then we had the new debutant Powerhouse Hobbs. I've never heard of this guy before, but his new name is, I believe, Royce Keys, and he came into the ring, and he looks really, really strong, bro. He hits Javon Evans with a powerbomb. I mean, look at the way he caved in the ring, bro. Like, I swear to God, he literally caved in the ring. Because after that spot, like, you could genuinely see, like, the lines. Like, you see the lines on the shadows? Bro, they start to literally bend inside, bro. He literally partially broke the ring. And that's not a joke. He literally kind of smashed the ring up a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, that was like, damn, man, this guy is for real, man. This guy's a real deal. And then we had, like, this guy, La Parka, come out. I'm like, bro, we had El Grande Americano, Big Americano, La Parka, Rey Fenix, Penta, all of Mr. Iguana. All of these freaking AAA masked luchador jobbers come out that never drew a single dime in their lives, come out in the Royal Rumble, but we couldn't have had Finn Balor. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't have Finn Balor in it. That's where you kind of lose me, right? So, anyways, like, we at least had LA Knight come out and return. LA Knight, he had like a pretty good run up until he got eliminated, but yeah, Brock Lesnar came out and he quickly made like easy work of everybody, man. Suplexing everybody. Javon Evans, like, we got suplexed. And then they had him face out with like Obafemi. Miz came out. Yada yada. Same old deal. And like this spot right here, bro, made me smile ear to ear. Bro, when Brock Lesnar no-sold everything that Ilya did, he grabbed him by the throat, he picked him up, and he tossed him over. I was like, man, that's what we need, bro. All these freaking jobbers are like, oh my god, I am an in-ring technician. I am this. Bro, it's a fake sport. You're a goofball. What are you talking about? In-ring technician? Technician of what? If one guy decides I'm not going to work like with you, you can't do anything. What are you talking about? In-ring technician? Man, I swear to God, like, most of the fans watching WWE in the arenas, like, some of these fans can actually knock out the wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, please, save me the whole, like, spiel of, oh my God, technician, in-ring work. Shut up. Don't care. All right? What I really like to see is this right here. Two big-ass dudes going at it, bro. And then, of course, a little freaking, luchador comes out, does nothing. Obafemi gets tossed with a suplex. I love seeing that. Brock Lesnar was in prime shape. And yeah, it was pretty fun, man. I really like the segments with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. I think that was really like the highlight point of the entire night, And then we had like Jey Uso come out from the crowd. I swear to God, this guy took so long. By the time he got into the ring, bro, the fucking next guy was like ready to come, and the next guy was obviously Roman Reigns. And then like for some reason, right? Automatically, Jey Uso's like posture was, all right, I'm gonna get ready to fight. Like his cousin enters the ring and they're immediately getting ready to fight. And like Jay's like kind of weary, right? And then Roman's like, let's run it back. And then like, all right, let's do it. Yes, sir. For that, right? No, boom, uppercut. And oh my God, that was slimy. That was slimy from Roman Reigns. And I have to ask this question why does Jey Uso let this slide so much? Why does Jey Uso let this slide so much? Because like he literally gets punched in between his thing, and like before you know it, bro, like Roman Reigns, like he sets up this like 1D, and you could literally see like Roman Reigns like signaling for the 1D, and Jey Uso helps him out with the 1D. Like, bro, you literally just got punched. Like, just just get Roman back, but he didn't. So LA Knight gets tossed out by Cody Rhodes, and that was sad to see. I really hated seeing Cody Rhodes toss out LA Knight. That didn't make any sense in my opinion. Like in the last 4, you want to have you want to have Logan Paul, Orton, Gunther, and Roman, but not LA Knight. Priorities are not straight in this company, bro, at all. So then obviously everything keeps going on a little bit. A few guys get like tossed out, and then the final entrant is Gunther. Gunther is number 30. What I fear for Sami Zayn actually happened for Gunther, and like the idea of Gunther even coming back into this was kind of funny, because if Gunther was not gonna win, then why have him come out? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I was like thinking about. Like, okay, yeah, we can have Gunther come out and be number 30. He just retired AJ Styles, and now he's gonna win the Rumble as well. God damn, bro, that was gonna give him massive heat, right? That was gonna give him such big heat to the point where you literally just wanted to see this guy just get like in like somehow get like fucked up, right? That's the level of heat this guy had. But unfortunately, he just came out for no reason, just to be a runner-up again. So then my question was like, bro, at least have it be Sami Zayn, right? At least have it be Sami Zayn. Like, I don't like Sami Zayn. He's a hairy lollipop. But if that was the way that you were gonna do it, why not have Sami Zayn come out and like be like kind of victorious, or like have the like the crowd have hope behind him? We already know Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns have history together. Kind of could have played into that. Could have played into the honorary ooh shit. It could have been like Sami and Roman facing off last, as the last two, and that could have been it. But Gunther, it's kind of like, why? It didn't really add much to Gunther's like aura. If anything, it kind of took away from him beating AJ Styles, right? That's the way that I felt about it. I get it, like I get why they did it, but it just didn't. It didn't really feel like it made sense. It really didn't feel like it made sense. Unless Gunther was gonna win, it didn't really make sense at all. So yeah. So that was the way that I felt about it. And immediately we got to the end of the match. We got to see Roman Reigns hit a spear and then toss out our boy Gunther. Gunther, that he can it all, Gunther. That he can it all, Gunther. Dun 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 dun. He yang 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 Gunther, daddy in it all, Gunther. Right, so that boy, he got tossed out for no apparent reason. His victory over AJ Styles, you could have let him bask in that. You could have let that sink in. You gotta let could have let him kind of like enjoy that. But to have Gunther beat AJ and then come out as number 30, to then lose, it's kind of like, damn, AJ, like you mean so little. You're gonna retire, and the guy that beat you is not even gonna win the Rumble. I don't know. It could have been Sami Zayn for all I cared, but for it to be Gunther, don't know. I feel like a lot of gaps were in this plot line, in this matchup, and there was a lot of gaps in the crowd, bro. I mean, look at this, man. Empty seats over here, empty seats over here, empty seats over there, and this is the main event. It's literally the main event. Genuinely a horrendous show. I do not blame the home crowd. I do not blame Riyadh. I do not blame Saudi. I truly blame the Rumble for, having no proper storylines. And it is the complete reason why the fans aren't as engaged. The only reason why this happened in Saudi, the reason is Saudi paid a lot of money for them to be there, and they finally went over there. And yeah, okay, the novelty of WWE being in your city is pretty cool, but you still have to have something to show for the actual fans. Like, a lot of the people that were sitting there, they weren't just like random fans. A lot of them are probably people that watch the weekly shows. And it's the same people that, are exactly the ones filling up the seats. Now, it is also the same people that did not show up. You understand? It's also the same people that didn't want to show up because they already knew it was going to be trash. Your SmackDown Live was trash. Your Raws have been trash globally anyway, just like your every single Monday Night Raw episode have been trash. Not to mention your SmackDown, which has been tremendously horrible. And, you don't have any particular, big return. I was looking forward to Y2J coming back. He didn't come back. It's like, damn, all right, you don't have Raw be good. You don't have SmackDown be good. You don't have Roman Reigns show up on your SmackDown. You don't have anybody important show up. You don't have anything good showing up for Raw or SmackDown on a week-to-week basis. The fans are disinterested. The fans are not engaged. Are you really surprised? Are you really surprised that you haven't sold out this arena? So I believe right now they're going to really kick in gear because the Saudis, bro, they're going to be mad. They're going to be like, bro, supposed to be the second biggest PLE of the year, and this was it? You know what I'm saying? This was it? A trash-ass Royal Rumble? Are you kidding me? This was bad. You better you better get in shape for WrestleMania 43, man. So hopefully by then we'll see what happens, Given the fact that Roman Reigns won tonight, I am very, very, very positive that we're going to see Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 43 for The Rock's final match. Yeah, hopefully that year is going to be a little bit better. To me, it already feels like 2026 is in the gutter. I feel like nothing is really going to start until 2027. So we'll see what happens then, all right? As always, guys, this has been the Heel Advocate at you live and direct. And I appreciate you all one by one. Great one. And as you guys know, one heel and there's one advocate. And there's only one thing left to say. 4 letters, 1 word. Heel.